Hi everyone, I am Ketra. We are going to do a collective reading for the week starting September 14th, just to take a look at what's coming up for this week. We are going to use Oracle and Tarot to just kind of get the guided messages from above. So I invite you to sit back, relax, take a nice deep breath so that you can connect with your higher self and get the messages that you're meant to receive for this week. Just holding on to some clear quartz just to increase that connection with my guides. I think we're going to start with angel messages because that's the one that I heard the loudest. Start with the angel messages. So we'll do that and go from there. I hope you guys are all doing super fantastic. I know we're having an eclipse this month. I think it's on the 21st, so that should be exciting, kind of an exciting change in the dynamic of the energy. So your angel message is confidence. When I set my mind on something, I won't stop until I reach it. Valid. If you lack confidence in making a decision, the angels send you positive energies to boost your confidence. They let you know that support and encouragement are available to you as you continue to strive towards fulfilling your higher purpose. That is a fantastic angel message. Thank you guys very much. We're going to use the Akashic Soul Records Oracle just to check in with messages from our soul records. All right. We are going to take creation. You are now the conscious artist of your reality. Ideas seek form through your hands and heart. Choose what you will birth into this world with care and passion. And if you look on the card, they're very caringly touching and caressing what it is they're birthing into their new, let's say, path. So that is that message. And then I think for the anchor message for the tarot reading for what's coming in this week, we're going to use the fairy tarot, since clearly I need to slow down my words. What fairy tarot message do you want me to share with them today? All right, we have 8 of Spring. Stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. So for me, this card is kind of like the 8 of Wands, where directing your focus on one thing is going to really make everything kind of speed up in that direction. And I think that's where the help of the confidence from your angels are going to help you, because clearly you are in a moment of creation. With that Akashic Soul Records Oracle card, you are now the conscious artist of your reality. So it's like, especially with the astrology that's going on right now, thoughts are things more than any other time in our life. So you are manifesting what you want. You are also putting out there, without even knowing it, your intentions. So be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of how you feel about things right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at our week and see what's unfolding. And then also there'll be a link in the description. If you would like the 8 of Wands is on the bottom of this deck. I literally just said the 8 of Wands with that 8 of Spring. You can't make that stuff up. I love the divine. I love being on this spiritual path. It is the best time of my life. You think when you're young, that is the best time of your life. But as you get older and you start realizing the reality of things, that's when you can really come into your own. And I think astrologically and energetically, I think that's where we're at right now. So I'm just going to slow those 8 of Wands down for a moment and ask to show us what is coming in for us this week. So we're just going to do 3 rows so we can have a nice conversation with the tarot and our guides. Okay, so we have the 3 of Wands, the 9 of Cups, and we have the 3 of Cups. Oh, that is fantastic. Queen of Wands, Knight of Swords, 7 of Swords. We have the Ace of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Okay. So pretty strong messages coming through. I'm going to try to, again, slow them down just one at a time. So this is kind of, for me, this is like where we're at, what's coming up, and advice from above, like that, like what's kind of coming in, towards the end of the week, or however it resonates with you. So right now, 3 of Wands, it's, again, you can't make this up. Three of Wands really is us, you, coming up with that divine plan, like a plan that was gifted to you from the divine of how you want to move forward through this week. You know what you want to do and you know how you're going to do it. And if you're confident and you really focus where you're putting your time and your energy, it's going to also bring that Nine of Cups energy. So it's wish fulfillment. So with that plan, with that Three of Wands, what is it that you want to do? What have you been aspiring to do? Because it's going to turn out pretty good, because it's going to be one of those wish fulfillment type of things. And then here's the Three of Cups. Also can't make this up. That's you celebrating your achievements. That's whatever it is that you're working on. Once you feel that guidance from your angels, from your guides about the plan that you're on, it is going to be a time for celebration. And I believe, I was going to move on to the next row, but I just heard clarify those cards. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to, this is a Rider-Waite-Smith deck. This is just a Rider-Waite deck. We're going to use these to clarify the first set of cards. Just because, again, I love the conversation that we get to have with Spirit with the tarot cards. They definitely help slow down and direct my thoughts. Okay, so why is the Three of Wands here? What path are we on? You have the Knight of Wands. So definitely that plan that you've got coming up, or that plan that you've been working on, or the idea that's going to be sparking this week, it's something that's coming from the fire and drive that's inside of you. Your wish fulfillment card is clarified by the Four of Cups. And so it is literally from the divine, the gift that you're being given, the ability to be able to just think and sit and be with you and your higher self in that moment of what is it that I want? Which way do I want to go? Where am I putting my emotions this week? And then our Three of Cups is clarified by the Moon. And so that is really a card of the reflection of self. So that celebration that you're having, it's because you've taken the time to reflect on yourself. You've been able to kind of hone in on who you are and what you want to be. So moving forward, we have the Queen of Wands. Super fantastic. Queen of Wands, ambition, drive. She doesn't care what anyone thinks. So again, this is the opportune time for you to step out of your shell and step into using your intuition to guide you this week. Because again, the I don't care part comes with the energy of the Queen of Wands. She has her little black cat here. I have a black cat too. And she doesn't care what anybody thinks about that stigma with a black cat. She just uses her intuition and that fire and that drive inside of her. And that's what's guiding you this week. And I think it's pretty neat that you have the Knight of Swords here. The Knight of Swords, as it's laying on my altar, and I can't wait to have a camera above, he's rushing to that Nine of Cups moment. It's like you have been building up your momentum, that Eight of Wands kind of feeling at the beginning of the reading. You've been building up your momentum to that moment to be able to be like, what is it that I want to do? And it's you driving forward with that clarity and that Knight of Wands kind of energy. You also have the Seven of Swords. So just be mindful this week. Make sure that you have all of the information that you need to move forward with whatever idea it is that you've got. The Seven of Swords can be read a couple of ways. It could be trickery, but it could also be that you have figured out a different way to do something. So the Seven of Swords, he is taking the swords from the army because he knows he can't fight it anymore. And so I feel pretty strongly that that is you understanding ways that you were doing things before didn't necessarily work out the way that you wanted them to. So you have figured out a new way to do that. So we're going to go ahead and clarify the Queen of Wands, our Knight of Swords, and specifically our Seven of Swords. But we're going to start with our Queen. Our Queen of Wands is clarified by the Chariot. That is you moving forward from your past. That is you moving forward this week pretty quickly. It's one of the fastest cards in tarot. Again, goes along with that Eight of Spring, that Eight of Wands that we saw at the beginning of the reading. It's you quickly moving forward to your next phase of your soul's path. Our Knight of Swords is clarified by the Page of Cups. And I think that's just so cute because if you're charging forward towards your wish fulfillment, just remember to do it with love, and love every aspect of the moment is really what I'm getting from this card. I want to know why Seven of Swords is here for you guys. Why is the Seven of Swords here? Wow. So Seven of Swords is clarified by the High Priestess. She is a keeper of secrets. And so I just feel really strongly whatever goes on this week, especially with that new direction that you're going to, make sure that you're getting all the information, because with the Seven of Swords and our High Priestess, she's a keeper of secrets. This could also note like trickery. So you really want to be mindful of the information that you're receiving. Just double check, just fact check. That's what I just heard. Fact check this week. And we have the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Emperor. So you do get clarity towards the end of the week about something, person, place, or thing. I really feel like it has something to do with this new direction that you're going in. So just make sure that you have that clarity, especially with that Seven of Swords situation down here with our beautiful Empress or High Priestess. Sorry. Make sure that you have all that information, because I do believe it is going to give you that clarity that you need. And then as you're progressing forward, you have the Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady, but it is steady progress. It is steady progress, and it is a pentacle. So it is that grounded idea that you've got. It is slow and steady. Just keep hearing slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. And how you also move forward is with the Emperor. Just be slow and structured with whatever it is that you're doing moving forward, and be ready. So that is the other thing. So in the Emperor card, he is ready for anything. He's got his armor on underneath his cloak, and he is just ready for anything. So just make sure that you are clear on the direction that you want to go in, and that you have built your foundation well. We're going to go ahead and clarify. I'm curious, why is the Ace of Swords here? You have the Knight of Cups. So this is the third knight that you have all four. You have the Knight of Wands, you have the Knight of Swords, you have the Knight of Pentacles, and you have the Knight of Cups. So it is very clear that you right now are at the precipice of, why do I keep saying that word? It's like the fourth time I've said that word. Of a new journey, a very balanced start, because you've got all of the elements behind you. You've got the angels that are guiding you with confidence. So there is something that's happening this week for you that is giving you a lot of clarity, especially when you've got the Chariot right here and you've got the Ace of Swords. You're moving towards that clarity. So why is our Knight of Pentacles here? That is so cool that you guys have all of the knights, all of them. You have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups with the Knight of Pentacles, that really does tell me that the journey that you're starting on, just be sure to nurture yourself. Just nurture your heart. Make sure the direction that you're going in is coming from that emotional yes. That's what I got. It is the emotional yes that will continue to guide you forward. So that's your second queen. Let's take a look at why the Emperor is here. You have the Eight of Cups. So just be mindful that if you need to walk away from a situation, the Eight of Cups, he's walking away from a situation, emotional situation that no longer serves him, but he's going away, and he's got to go up the hill to be able to go home to that final destination, whatever this is for you. But just know that you have the strength of the Emperor supporting you in walking away from whatever emotionally no longer serves you with this, and just know that you're just going to be ready for it. Because again, have the confidence to get through any emotional situations this week. Know that you are surrounded by angels. I do also, this looks pretty good. Just be mindful of your intuition. Just remember, if you get any of those intuitive thoughts, intuitive kind of like tugs, pay attention to those. We're going to get a message from this book here. It's called Messengers. And so all I do with this book is I like to just flip and stop and read the message that's meant for typically me, but this message is for you today. So you have seek your answers within. I kid you not. It is I don't know. Can you see this? Seek your answers from within. If you find yourself confused, your intuition and inner voice drowned out by the answers. Wisdom and advice of others, then I'm going to start over. If you find yourself confused, your intuition and inner voice drowned out by the answers, wisdom and advice of others, then it is time for you to step away. Ooh, that 8 of Cups. Withdraw to a place of solitude. Like the bear, it is time for you to hibernate, to go within and seek the void, and to embrace the silence that dwells within. Within that silence are the answers to your questions. And because they are answers born of your truths, they will be answers that move you forward instead of holding you still. So that, just look at that picture. So that bear is hibernating. That bear is taking a moment to go into solitude and just exactly what I said, feel from your heart which way you need to go forward this week. And then we're going to end with gratitude oracle, because above all, just be grateful. Be grateful for every opportunity, whether it's a good or bad situation. Be grateful. But this feels good. This feels like, it feels like a direction that you're going in, where again, that Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, that slow and steady kind of attitude is really going to be what helps you. And then also your intuition, what feels right and what feels wrong. And you'll know it feels wrong because you'll feel like that, whoa, I don't want to do that. So your gratitude card is repose. Okay, so it is almost the same message as in this book here, which is repose. And we're just going to grab the message from repose just really quickly. It is number 43, which is a 7. 43. So let's read the affirmation. I willingly prioritize my need for quality sleep. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be more rested and refreshed. So sleep is a necessity, just like food and water. Sleep quality is linked to mental, emotional, and physical wellness. If you are not getting regular quality sleep, it is time to look at how you can change that. When you have a good night's sleep, you're better to address the stressful areas of your life. You may sacrifice sleep when you feel pushed to get everything done. However, you can then find yourself making mistakes and not functioning at your best. And the description of the card, just because she's so beautiful, let's take a look at that. And then again, just take a deep breath. A fairy sleeps inside a nest while a full moon rises overhead. Mushrooms grow in clusters at the bottom of the nest. Seed pods hang over the slumbering fairy's head. The nest may mean you are feeling safe and comfortable. The seed pods can mean possibilities. Be ready as new things are going to pop up. The fairy appears to be sleeping soundly. Aim to improve the quality of your sleep so you meet every day fresh and rejuvenated. So definitely thank you so much for watching. I appreciate being able to share these messages with you guys. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and liking my channel. I love all the comments, so thank you. So until the next video, take care and enjoy your week.